Hey, beautiful. Just wanted to chat about anxiety and depression and mental health, emotional health. I'm seeing a lot of clients in my energy healing business at the moment that are having symptoms of mental health. So anxiety attacks, panic attacks, depression, really struggling to find motivation for life, struggling to find the joy in life. So a general numbness, things that used to bring them joy no longer do. And just general feeling unwell, something's off, and a lot of mental confusion and a lot of mental chatter as well. If this is you, I really hope that you're getting this transmission today. The last one I'm going to add to this is also thoughts that aren't your own. Thoughts that are coming in that aren't actually your own, that are quite dark. And you haven't been like this before. This, my friend, is more likely than not an entity that is stuffing with your energy system deliberately and causing this mental, emotional, physical non-alignment and discomfort. Well, discomfort is putting it mildly. Over the course of 6 years, I have worked with many clients to remove a lot of entities, and it seems to actually be getting worse at the moment. A lot of clients I'm seeing are having like up to 15 entities in their physical body at one time. So if you can imagine that, they're completely drained because these entities feed off our energy system. So you literally have like multiple energies feeding off your energy system. Naturally, they cause you to be confused because they've hijacked your mind, they've hijacked your mental body, your mental energy body, and they're telling you, they're feeding in ideas about what you should be doing, and it's actually jamming up your ability to connect to yourself. Because now yourself, your soul, is one of multiple souls in your physical body. Another couple of symptoms of entities present in the physical body are loss of appetite, darkness and heaviness around the eyes, irregular sleep patterns, so inability to sleep normally at night, so much confusion and mental chatter that it's exhausting and you can't actually move forward with anything because it's like you're actually sabotaging yourself every time you try to do something and you can't get clarity on it. And by the time you do, you're exhausted anyway from the mental warfare internally. Okay, so loss of appetite, yeah. Others will be able to see it. There'll be physical, depending on how bad it is, others will be able to see it in your eyes. Your eyes will change as well. If it's full blown, your eyes will actually change. And a general disconnection. A general disconnection from the things that used to bring you great joy in your life. You just will not be able to feel that love anymore because it is literally sucked out of you by these entities. And also, sudden bursts of anger or emotion that come from nowhere, once again, because they're not yours. So if this is making sense, if it's ringing bells to you, if you're like, yeah, okay, this is kind of making sense, and extreme fatigue. Just absolutely exhausted, scattered, shattered, lost. And hearing or getting thoughts or voices in your head that aren't actually your internal guidance, that are not positive, would be another one as well. And that creates the confusion loop also. So if this is you, I would, before you run off to a doctor, please, before you run off to a doctor, please get energy advice on this. A reputable energy healer that specializes in this will be able to identify how many entities you have and will be able to remove them in a single session for you. The reason I say this, and I am coming from a place of deep concern for people going through this. Obviously, the medical system's answer to this is antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, which, if you have a legitimate mental health illness or condition, you should be taking those. But if it is an entity or an attachment that is a foreign thing in your body that is actually manipulating your energy to make it look like this, then you are going to be taking medication that you don't actually need. That will interfere by its very nature. It does what it's supposed to do. It changes the chemicals in your body, etc., to compensate for this. But if the cause of it is not actually physical, if it's actually energetic, then what are you doing to your system? You're taking stuff that you don't need to be taking. And also some of that can be quite addictive as well. So you don't really want to go down that path if you don't have to go down that path. And energy and entity removal sessions, they're a single session to remove entities. At most, they're two, and it's possibly that some things need to be cleaned up in the back end depending on how deep this goes. But you will feel the relief on the first session. You will know that it's been removed, and that's how you know that it wasn't yours to begin with. And this also goes to the higher manipulation of humanity, right? By fear, dark forces, dark energy, etc. Total disempowerment and mass confusion. And it is very real. So please, if this is happening to you, please seek help and make sure that it is from someone reputable that has a lot of experience doing this. So how does this happen? Well, this happens in a variety of ways. It can be that you're on the spiritual path and that through your awakening, you've opened up things inside of you and you weren't fully protected. That can be a cause of it. Or that you left a channel open unprotected and then you went and connected with others that had entities, and those entities have come into your system. It can also be that you know someone who actually has entities in their system and you've engaged with them. Just like people, well, when people connect, we create cords, energy cords, which are our connection. That's how we can connect to others. Think of it like an open access point. This is how we can relate to people emotionally and mentally, etc., because it's through an energy thing, a bridge. The person you're connecting with, if they have an entity, when you connect with that person, that entity is also in their body, so they actually have free access to go into your system unless you know how to protect yourself, which most people do not know how to protect their energy. And that's very easy to learn how to do that, which will be another subject for another day. But once the damage is done, it needs to be removed. You don't actually want to go into protection mode because then you'll close off your system and then the entity's free to do what it wants in your system. You've just put put that entity in a nice little bubble of protection so it can just hijack your system as much as it likes. The other thing too is, so that's pretty common. Also, it occurs when there's incidents of trauma, because the soul leaves the body when we have trauma in our physical life. And that kind of creates a vacancy. The soul's not there. or it's fractured, so it's not in its full power. And also our vibration lowers, etc. Our natural defenses lower, and so then we are vulnerable to that at that point, and that's how they can also get in as well. And everything's energy, so it is what we consume as well. And this would be also another thing that you really want to watch with entities. You know, if you find that things that you know, once gave you joy and happiness, you're not wanting to do, but then all of a sudden you decide you want to start watching horror movies or things, low vibrational activities, that's normally a sign that there is something going on in your energy field and it's not you. So, and this does happen a lot. So if this is you, I know that you will be struggling to connect with your intuition. Just take a moment to process all that I have said, and please get assistance. I can help you, but there are other energy healers that can help you to clear this out. And one of the things that you want to look for is, so it won't just be that we're cutting cords, it'll also be potentially contracts that you may have inadvertently entered into with these entities as well, which may have been in another life. They may have been associated with milestones in lifetimes, and that all needs to be cleared out as well. It's not as simple as let's just get the white sage out, or let's just get a crystal for that. If it's in there, it needs to be removed, and it needs to be removed properly. So I hope that serves you well, guys, and please understand that my intention is not to... My intention with this, and why I don't talk about this very often, is my intention is never to add to the collective pool of fear. My intention is to add to your awareness of this. And so much mental health that I am seeing, so many clients that I am seeing that are just about to go down the path of taking medication because, and obviously they're in a massive amount of internal turmoil and they need it to stop. They need relief, and I get that. And you don't know what you don't know. So please understand that this is not coming from a fear perspective. This is coming from, I want to give you some information, an alternative perspective to what could be going on. And that doesn't mean to say that what you're dealing with is not mental health. It very well might be mental health. And a proper energy healer will be able to tell you very quickly whether it is mental health or whether it's emotional from trauma, and whether that's a soul fracture that needs to be healed, or whether it's through fear and the ego jacking up that is blocking your connection, or whether it is entities, foreign energy in your body that needs to be removed. And they will do that naturally. And that should be your first point of call, and bring you back into your body and into your power, without medication. As I said, medication has its place, but we are quite often, because we don't know things or we've forgotten things, we look at these symptoms and go, okay, well, that must be mental health. And our current medical system goes, well, this is the answer that we have for that. That doesn't necessarily mean to say that that is actually the correct solution for you. Please follow your gut on this, your intuition, if you are able to hear it at the moment. And if you need advice with this, please let me know in the comments, or look me up on indigobutterflyhealing.com. It would be my pleasure to be able to be of service to you and bring you back into joy and clarity, because I know how hard and how challenging it can be when there are entities on board. And it is literally like a freeing process, and it's beautiful to be part of. And it's something that I get great delight in doing, being able to help people come back to themselves so they can get on with the job of being them. Sending you my love today.